So you've decided that this is the year you want to start learning calisthenics and get into the best shape of your life. You've been seeing guys on the internet doing crazy skills like muscle ups and handstand push-ups and thought to yourself, maybe I want to do this too. So you've clicked onto the right video. So firstly, we need to know the different categories of calisthenics. So there's bodyweight endurance exercises like push-ups and pull-ups at high repetitions, weighted calisthenics, which is weighted dips, weighted push-ups, weighted pull-ups, and other weighted exercises, and lastly statics, which is the hardest form of calisthenics where you're doing isometric holds like planche and front lever. So ultimately, I want to keep this video as beginner friendly as possible. So here's the workout that I would do if I had to start calisthenics all over again. Just keep in mind, in this video we will be using equipments like pull-up bars, dip bars, parallettes, and resistance bands. So if you don't have these equipments at home, you could go to your nearest exercise park and use the equipment there, but I recommend you to invest into these equipments because they will be really useful in the long run. But before we get into the exercises, we need to talk about the muscle groups being involved in this workout. So in calisthenics, we need to focus on our pushing and pulling strength. So these exercises will be using our chest, shoulders, back, our lats, mid and upper back, biceps, triceps, and our core. So without further ado, let's go right into the video. Before we start our workouts, it's really important that we warm up the muscles being used to prevent injury and allow us to perform at our strongest. So starting off, we are doing arm circles, which promotes blood circulation to our shoulders, arms and upper back muscles, which is needed before we start our pull and push workouts. So for external shoulder rotation, we'll be using the lightest resistance band to warm up our rotator cuff. I like this exercise because it prevents injury and increases our shoulder mobility. Next, we're going to do bicep curls with a resistance band to warm up our biceps and forearm muscles before we start our pull day, which is important for warming up for the pulling exercises. After that, we're doing shoulder dislocates. It's one of the best warm-ups because it improves our shoulder mobility and opens up the chest. It helps activate muscles around the shoulder joint, which prepares us for pulling and pushing movements. Calisthenics can be very taxing on our wrist joints, so doing wrist circles is an excellent exercise to increase blood flow to our wrist. Next, we want to do wrist stretches, which improves our flexibility and range of motion. This stretch helps release tensions in our forearms and reduces stiffness in our wrist, preparing us for exercises like push-ups, pull-ups, which prevents injury and overuse. Next, we are going to do a regressed pushing exercise like knee push-ups to increase blood flow to our chest and shoulders, which reduces the strain on these muscles, allowing us to have proper mind and muscle engagement when performing our push day exercises. With this last warm-up, scapular shrugs, we are going to enter into a dead hang position and retract our shoulder blades. This is a great warm-up to strengthen our traction and activating the muscles necessary to train our pull day exercises. Push-ups are the best bodyweight exercise to target our chest, shoulders, triceps, and our core muscles. When doing push-ups, we want to keep our core tight and retract our scapula when we are coming down in a slow and controlled motion. When pushing back up, we want to be as explosive as possible. When doing the push-ups, we don't want to flare out our elbows. We want to keep them tucked in a 45-degree angle. You want your push-ups to look like this for maximum tension in the chest. When we flare out our elbows, it will just cause unnecessary stress in our joints. We can also change our form and do another variation of the push-up, which is protracting at the top of the motion rather than keeping a slightly retracted scapular position. This will shift more of the tension to our serratus anterior and front delts, which will have more carryover to the skills like the planche. If the regular push-ups are too hard, we can do the incline push-ups to put less stress on our chest and shoulder muscles. This is a great variation if you're trying to build more strength in the push-ups. If that's too hard, band-assisted push-ups is another great way to build up to the push-up by training with high volume. When you feel that you're getting stronger, you can start decreasing the load of the band each session. On the other hand, if you find push-ups to be quite easy, you can shift your focus to deficit push-ups. This is because the greater range of motion allows for a deeper stretch in the pecs, making this exercise a harder and excellent way to build more mass in the chest and our shoulders. Diamond push-ups is another challenging exercise. Because of the narrow hand placement, more emphasis is placed towards our triceps and chest muscles, allowing for a nice contraction. If you want to target your upper chest with push-ups, then decline push-ups is the best exercise to do so. You can use any elevated surface to do this, but remember to use the high decline position to target more of your upper chest fibers. Pike push-ups. This is the best exercise to target our shoulder muscles and is the bodyweight equivalent of an overhead press. We want to be on the edge of our toes when doing pike push-ups, and remember to tuck in your elbows to distribute more weight to our shoulders and triceps. Dips is one of the best exercises to target our triceps, shoulders and lower chest. To do a dip, we want to engage our core muscles at all times and try not to lean too far forward when coming down, because this can cause a shoulder injury. Flaring out our elbows will shift more of the tension to our chest, and keeping them tucked will target our triceps. If you can't do a dip, then you can do band assisted dips to make the exercise a lot easier. On the other hand, if you find band assisted dips too difficult and you end up using a very heavy band, it's best to stick to bench dips to build up our strength. If you want to focus purely on your triceps, then tricep extensions are a great isolation movement. At first you may feel uncomfort, but trust me, it's just a mental cue. Starting off with our pull exercises, we will be using a dip bar to do inverted rows. This is a great exercise to build our horizontal pulling strength and help us build up to the pull-up. To do an inverted row, retract your shoulder blades by pulling them together and squeezing your lats to pull your chest to the bar. When coming down, you want to maintain this tension for maximum gains. Next up, we are doing pull-ups, and it is the king of all pulling exercises. It targets all the areas of your back, including the lats, mid and upper back section, while also being taxing on your biceps and forearms. To do a pull-up with correct form, retract your shoulder blades and imagine driving your elbows down into your lower back. This should remove any unnecessary stress on our arms and shift the focus to our lat muscles. I also see people doing pull-ups with a protracted scapula, which is totally wrong, and some others doing ridiculous stuff like the CrossFit pull-ups, which focuses on momentum rather than strength. If pull-ups are too difficult, you could do the pull-up negative, which focuses more on controlling the eccentric portion of the pull-up by squeezing our lats to control us from falling straight down. When doing this exercise, you want to jump up high enough so your chin is above the bar and control the negative. Another option is to do the band assisted pull-ups. To set it up, we want to throw the band over the bar and pass it through the other side. Band assisted pull-ups is the best pull-up progression that I encourage people to do. This exercise is great because it allows us to work on building volume, and once you do get stronger, you can make the exercise harder by using a lighter band. However, if you're using a heavy band, it would be best to stick to the pull-up negative. Next is chin-ups, and it is perfect if you want to target your lats but also shift your focus towards your biceps. Chin-ups are a bit easier compared to pull-ups, so if you can't do much pull-ups, you can work on chin-ups to build more strength in your vertical pulling ability. If pull-ups are too easy, you can try another variation like the close grip pull-ups, which targets our lats but put more emphasis on our forearms and brachialis. So if you want more fuller arms, then this exercise is a must. Seated L-sit raises is probably the best exercise you could do to target your abdominal muscles. It focuses mostly on your core compression strength and also targets our hip flexors. If this exercise is too hard, then you can tuck your legs in to reduce the leverage involved. Whichever one you decide to do, your abs will get destroyed regardless. Next is the plank, and it is one of the most iconic core exercises which focuses mostly on our core stability and endurance. This exercise is best done at the end of our ab workouts. The Russian twist targets both our abs and obliques, so it's a great exercise if you want to tone your core muscles and achieve crazy skills like the human flag. When doing the Russian twist, you don't want to lean back excessively. Leaning back slightly is effective enough to target all our core muscles. Hollow body holds is the best core exercise which targets the lower and the upper portion of our abs. This exercise is extremely difficult even for me, so you'll be guaranteed 6-pack abs after doing this. Seated leg raises focuses mostly on the lower portion of our abs and our hip flexors. When done correctly, this exercise will destroy your lower abdominals and allow for a more toned look. So the last exercise for today's video is hanging leg raises. This exercise is really good for targeting all areas of our abs and challenging its stability. When doing this exercise, we want to have little to no momentum when raising and lowering our legs. So what we need to do is engage our abs and keep it tight throughout the whole set. If hanging leg raises is too hard, then we can do knee raises instead to make life easier. So in the last part of this video, I'll be showing you how to program your workouts, and I'll give you a basic understanding on how to properly set up your exercises for the best results possible. So the hardest exercises should always come first because this is the part of our workout when we have enough strength to complete them with proper form. Rather than leaving them till last where we are at our most fatigued state, it's important to do them at this start to build up our strength and make the most gains possible. Medium intensity exercises like push-ups should be done after you complete the harder exercises listed above. In this part of our workout, we want to do exercises that we still find challenging but can still be completed with proper form. Here, we will be focusing more on hypertrophy to build muscle and fatigue ourselves further. Lastly, we want to have the easiest exercises done last so we can stimulate our muscles and work them to failure. This way, we can make the most out of our workouts and make gains. If you want to make progress, it's important that we push our limitations every week by adding 1 or 2 more reps in the sets that we are doing. This is called progressive overloading, and this method of strength and hypertrophy training helps develop our nervous system, which helps us progress. In your sets, you typically want to do 8 to 12 reps for building muscle. However, if you're trying to work on your push-ups and pull-ups, for example, and you can't do many reps, then 3 to 6 reps is perfect for building strength. However, if these exercises are too easy, then you can work on endurance by doing 15 reps and higher. It's really important that we rest in between our sets. We typically want to rest about 3 to 5 minutes in between our sets, so then we have enough strength to continue into the next one. With your push, pull, and abs workout split, it's good to do them twice a week to stay consistent. This will help you build muscle and strength efficiently, which will provide you enough rest throughout the week. And lastly, it's really important to have good rest to recover from soreness after your workouts, and have a good and balanced diet that allows you to intake enough nutrition to help you build muscle and maintain your physique. So here's an example of what your push, pull, and abs workout split should look like. Listed in red at the top is the hardest exercises, in yellow the medium intensity exercises, and green the easiest exercises. So feel free to use this sample. If the exercises are either too hard or too easy, feel free to modify it to your own liking. Thank you guys for staying till the end of this video. That was my Beginners Calisthenics workout routine. I tried to make this video as informative as possible so you can gain a basic understanding of calisthenics. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay fit, guys.